Hi, and welcome to CoupleTales.life, the colorful shades of grey. Now, the pandemic has had its own share of issues and problems and a whole lot of situations. And this next question comes from a very, very young lad who's written to us about what he's facing, which is primarily that his entire future is on hold, which means he was supposed to go abroad to study, not really happening, the frustration, not landing up a job or anything, and the kind of strain it's had on his relationship at home with his folks. So, there is a lot of heaviness at home and how to deal with it because there is frustration, there's helplessness from parents' side. So, there are two sides of the story. How does he deal with something like this?
So, Vivek, I'm going to talk about the pandemic because pandemic. I'm sorry, but Debu always corrects me because I say pandemic and he says pandemic. So I'm just correcting. So I'm going to talk about the pandemic because it is not just parents. It is a heavy environment generally everywhere, and when you also this I was also very happy to answer this question because I really want the younger generation to watch our videos and interact with us, send us their comments. So coming back to the question, I feel that today the pandemic is just a situation. It could be anything. Okay, and I'm going to say for that anything, how is it that would help you to deal with it? Okay,
that's nice.
So the first thing is this is a very external situation.
Yes.
Correct. Now, what are we used to? Our plans, our list, and we are very used to controlling. And since you said about college, okay, so I know there is a fall semester. I know 2 years before that I have to do this. I have to give my SAT. I have to do my recommendation. I have to write my essay, etc., etc. There is a plan, and then and of course there is hope, right? That okay, now this is my life that is going to start. It's my future, which is all very good. Now, in any external situation, the one thing, and especially now with COVID, the one thing is that I think if you just stop controlling. Right? Because that is your first step. And how will you stop controlling? Obviously, by just actually accepting. Even during, now, this whole lockdown for almost a year now, there were people who really went through it calmly and said, okay, it's the new time. Nobody knew it's going to hit us like that globally. But there were people who have spent this time constantly complaining, how did this happen? We did not take care. Somebody did this. Is that all wrong? No. Are people being irresponsible? Yes. But the fact is, how much are you going to control and wire yourself out, right? Which includes jobs, which includes education, which includes, my son is in the 12th, and I was just telling you that, kabhi exam hoga, kabhi offline hoga, kabhi online hoga. So, the thing that I have told him is offline, online does not matter. What do you think you're supposed to do now? So he said, study. I said, you know what, then forget everything else, study. So this is where I just feel when you're in these kind of situation, instead of having a list, instead of having a goal, instead of having the next 10 steps when things are so uncertain and we are lost, and more than, why are we lost? Because it's very, very unfamiliar. We do not think that if I go down, if I sit in a rickshaw, if I go to Bandra, I will reach Bandra. We do not know that. So at a time like this, the one thing that you can really do to keep yourself sane is just take the next step. That's it. So you know what? Okay, I am going to the US. Yes. I will take the next step of let me apply. Okay. When the acceptance happen, okay, let me see what the college does. Okay. So if they are saying there is online college because of whatever is happening globally, what are you going to do? Do you have a choice? you can just sit there and complain and complain. And please complain. There's nothing wrong in complaining. But you know, this thing coming where parents are stressed and relationships are, you know, getting affected and all. I'm saying just for some time, just take the next step and the next step. And then you reach there and take the next step, because plans are very difficult to work right now. It's a very difficult place to not have a job. Okay, it is. But you know, what are you going to tell yourself? That this too shall pass. Because what else are you going to do? Okay, now the other way to do it is that all this energy, which is frustration, which is fear, which is the uncertainty, you know, that you always have an option of channelizing. Like, you know, channelize it. Like, do out of the box thinking. This is your chance. This is, you know, this is the time to do something which you've never done. I know this is sounding very gisa pita, but the thing is, like, for example, how many people like discovered the cooking part? You know, after that they said, okay, like I know people who started giving dabbas, and you know, and these were corporate people, like, you know, the mother-in-law and everybody started cooking, and then and they're doing it now. So, you know, the thing is that look at both sides of the coin, not just one. And the frustration, and if you're able to tell yourself whole day, I'm scared, I'm frustrated, I'm scared, I'm frustrated, right?
When you're evoking that completely.
No, you're like being in that space. So what is that little next step to just get out of the fear? Just take that one step and one step and one step. Don't have a list or a goal.
Is it also, Geetu, emanating from the fact that see, okay, if you look at me, for example, I like to be prepared. I will make my checklist, to-do list and everything. And you like to plan, right? There is a margin that you keep in between for things to go wrong. But this was something which nobody anticipated, and you feel there's a part of your life or your journey, if I may say so, has completely come to a stand.
That's true. But the fact is, are you going to fight this or are you going to accept it?
Yeah.
That's the whole point. It's much better to accept it, because, okay, and I'm not telling you some unreasonable stuff to accept. What is the other choice? So take the first step of saying, I accept it. Today, every business has been, you know, hit. And it is an environment where you know that everybody is doing whatever they can as well as they can. Then the thing is, that's what I'm saying, that you, according to you, you will keep a little margin. And when that is not working, then under normal circumstances, okay, you will have another plan. But either we don't even know the circumstances, we don't even know the timeline, we don't, you know, whatever we do, it is uncertain. So can we just accept the uncertainty first and then take the next little step and then take the leg? But if you fight the uncertainty, then I don't know how productive that will be, or I don't know where it will take you. You can always try and see, because I am really a believer of trial and error. But I really feel this, that, you know, the acceptance of that uncertainty is a crucial first step.
I think, you know, my takeaway from this, Geetu, and it's, I would, in fact, if I were to take away what you said today away from the pandemic also, I think it works. That if you can't change a situation, then it's best to accept it, then find solutions, because only when you accept it
is when
you
you're
can
going
find
to
the solution, because your mind starts working on the next step. So I think
because, you know, then you're saying, okay, now this is my reality, I'm not fighting the concept of reality, right?
I think that is a more forward thinking, if I may, and I think those are some brilliant tips for me also. I would say that, you know,
I really hope so.
Please, of course, and thank you for asking this question, because you've just sparked off a thought process. Thanks to you, Geetu, that you've, you know, in my mind as well. So thank you for writing in, and it's very nice to see that the younger people are also writing in to us. So this is Vivek Kapoor signing off from coupletales.life. Please subscribe to the channel. If you think this episode is going to help a lot of people in your scenario or your situation that they're in your peer group, please do, and please do keep writing. Thank you so much.
And thank you. This is Geetu Purkayastha. Share it with your children if you think it will work for them. See ya.